What was left of a building was actually just cleared from the side of the road right here. Just behind me, what's left of what looks like a towing trailer of some sort, completely demolished. This was just 10 minutes ago, wedged between two trees. They just pulled this out. But look on the ground right here. I mean, glass is strewn everywhere, debris. And then just behind us over here, a couple of light poles. And this is what Lieutenant Governor Morales saw as he was taking in all of the debris here in Ruidoso. It's up to my shins here, and I'm by no means a short person. I'm about 6'1". The building was vacant, and even though emergency crews got the call at about 3:30 this morning, when I arrived on scene at 11, they were still fighting the flames. Like you heard Morales say, historic, and that's exactly what these construction crews behind me had to say. They were actually trapped inside of that home behind me on the second floor on Tuesday. Where I'm standing is called the New Mexico National Defense Area. It's right along the southern border here in New Mexico, and here's one of the signs that are posted right across the border wall, which Secretary Hegseth says aims to warn migrants that if stopped, they will be detained. Just behind me is Sierra Middle School, and just down the road lives Curtis Powell, who was arrested in 2023 for multiple sex crimes involving a child. These X-shaped barriers that are less than 5 feet tall are actually called vehicle barriers. Yeah, hey Nicole, well I spoke to Christian Salas, who was here at Young Park with his little brother last night. He was enjoying the car meet, taking his time, looking at the cars in the parking lot just behind me when he heard the first round of gunshots. He said, yesterday I was here in downtown covering a protest. They were protesting ICE and the detainment of migrants in this building here behind me, the Richard C. White Federal Building. Now, I noticed some of those protesters were actually going inside of the building, so I went in with them. I was the only TV news reporter who did this, and I saw exactly what they were protesting. Hey guys, well 1,500 troops have arrived here in El Paso and in San Diego, so all eyes are on the southern border. We begin in the ABC 7 Alert Center with breaking news. El Paso fire crews are battling a structure fire in northeast El Paso. Hey Nicole, I want to show you what the scene looks like now. It's still pretty active. I see a number of police units both inside of the park and outside of it. I can see El Paso Police's mobile command unit. And like you said, as you mentioned, Nations Tobin's Park and the nearby rec center will most likely be closed until tomorrow morning because of the shooting. Now, it was right here behind me on the 300 block of South Valley Drive where Officer Jonah Hernandez was responding to a trespassing call. He was then stabbed and killed by the suspect who was allegedly trespassing. I wanted to start from the beginning with Spencer, starting with why he took the case of a man who killed 23 people and injured 22 others in a racist attack. That's right, ABC 7's Ty Marshburn is joining us live from the market. Ty, I know things are just kicking off, but what can people expect today? Then officers returned fire, killing the man.
It happened at the...
Defense attorney for Gustavo Dominguez, Herman Ortiz, says he's confident that his client did not commit first-degree murder on the night of March 21st here in Young Park, the night that left 3 people dead and 15 others injured. A couple of hours ago, this park was flooded with people, those who were mourning, people here to show their support, and some who say they're tired of seeing a rise in teen violence in this community. That path of flooding left destruction in its wake. You can see just behind me that truck wedged into a fallen tree. Then as we walk just a couple of yards this way, you can see what's left of an RV door wrapped around a tree. Then look just over here. A house that is still standing. Inside on Tuesday was a construction crew that was fearing for their lives.
Those are curtains. We tied the curtains to the tree because the water was up to the second deck. And so we got up there and started hanging on to the trees.
Raymond Nieto and his crew were here in Ruidoso rebuilding the bottom portion of this house following the floods last year.
It was just a dramatic experience because, I mean, it took everything.
These 4,000-pound barriers were set up all around the house.
They were supposed to keep us safe.
The barriers were pushed into the bottom of the house and strewn throughout the yard.
I mean, but you can see what it did. You can't stop water.
Once I walked into the house, I immediately stepped into 3 feet of mud.
You can't even get through that door.
That was a door.
Yeah, that's a door.
$50,000 worth of work the crew had done completely destroyed.
I mean, just demolished.
This is what Nieto and his crew saw on the 2nd floor.
Called back home, everybody was freaking out, and you know, because they didn't know whether or not we were alive. You can see what it did. It took trucks, took trailers, took everything that it could. Debris was just coming through, and I mean, it was just crazy.
Nieto told me he did move his truck and his crew's trucks to higher ground just in time. He says by the time he got back to the house, the water was up to his knees. Now, like I said before, the bottom floor of this house is completely destroyed, and on that bottom floor were Nieto and his crew's, their luggage, their tools, and he said what was left of it is absolutely destroyed. But he talked to the owner of the house. The owner of the house said the next step is to rebuild. Reporting with our New Mexico Mobile Newsroom from Ruidoso, Lauren Bly, ABC 7. Nicole, yesterday I was here downtown covering a protest against ICE and what goes on here at the Richard C. White building, when I noticed some of the protesters were actually going inside of the building. So I decided to go with them. Take a look at what I saw. This is what I saw coming out of the elevator on the 7th floor of the Richard C. White building, where immigration court proceedings take place. People in plain clothing, but with badges, some with vests. Then just moments later, one by one, people getting detained by law enforcement. A family with children. With protesters singing in support. I wanted to know more about what I saw before sharing this video, so I spoke to the former national president of the American Immigration Lawyers Association, Kathleen Campbell Walker.
I've been practicing, I'll hit 40 years in November. Never seen this.
Walker told me during the Biden administration, migrants use the CBP-1 app to cross into the U.S. legally.
Now you're supposed to go ahead and address whether or not you're going to be granted relief through removal proceedings before an immigration judge. That's what's going on.
But then when these people get to court,
the government is saying, we're going to move to dismiss the 240 removal proceedings. Now, why would they do that? Normally they wouldn't.
So now when they leave the courtroom,
we're going to now say that you're subject to expedited removal. What does that mean? I don't get a hearing. I don't have a right to counsel.
Which is what she says we see here. This is moments after a woman watched her loved one get taken away by law enforcement. You can see this woman just seconds before holding onto a woman in a striped shirt's arm. With protesters shouting in Spanish, "You have the right to remain silent, don't sign anything." Walker says those detained do have the right to appeal this, but the fight won't be easy.
You've got
Marcel, as we first showed you Tuesday night and then last night, there's more than 4 hours of body camera footage from the night of the shooting and the next couple of days of the investigation. While we only see a glimpse of one of the raids, the nearly 140 pages of police reports provides extra depth. In this video, you can see the SWAT team approaching a house searching for Gustavo Dominguez. It happened just after 10 in the morning on Sunday, March 23rd, 2 days after the shooting.
Residency secured.
According to the police reports, there was another search warrant and SWAT raid of an apartment complex earlier in the weekend on Saturday. In one of the apartments, crime scene investigators found 5 guns, 10 magazines, and dozens of rounds of ammunition. and a debit card and temporary driver's license for Nathan Rivas, one of the defendants. That same day, officers went to the residence of Tomas and Nathan Rivas' mother and stepfather. The reports state this is when the couple was told their sons were persons of interest in the investigation. The stepfather, Charles, told investigators that on the night of the shooting, Nathan Rivas left the home around 9 or 10 p.m. and didn't return until early morning the next day. Body camera footage shows Sandra Rivas, mother of Nathan and Tomas, being told about the coming search warrant on her home.
Or if you decide to leave, you can leave the keys with them and then we won't infringe the books. Take a breath, Mama, okay? Take a breath, okay?
And the trial for all 4 suspects will take place in February of 2026, and all 4 will be tried as adults, and the trial is expected to last about 3 weeks. Reporting live in studio, Lauren Bly, ABC 7.
Thank you.